Well, dude, you know one thing I was happy about seeing Steve drive up?
What's that?
Bringing me the summer gun. He got out of the truck, and what I tell you, I was like, you can go back to Darbone now. You can head back to Farmerville. So, no, thank you again for bringing that. So, tell us, what net is that?
Well, that's Crappie Monster's Pro Series net, and it's actually big enough you can dip bass and crappie, which he had on his mind dipping those big crappie.
Big crappie. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Big Wheel.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Steve, thank y'all for coming on. Go ahead and introduce yourselves. Both of y'all have been on here, but it's been a while. So introduce yourself.
Yep. I'm William Big Wheel Whetstone. Everybody calls me Big Wheel. It's been going on for 20-something years. It's just a name that stuck. But I'm from Farmerville, Louisiana. I live right there on Lake Darbone, guide on Lake Darbone. Veteran firefighter, too, on the side from my fishing career. But yeah, glad to be here.
I'm glad you're on. Yeah. Old Steve, lay it on us.
Well, Steve Adams, retired oil field trash.
Yeah, you got that right.
Decided in retirement that I love to fish. I love the competition fishing. I'm not where the top are in the sport, but I love doing it. Love the camaraderie. The great friends I've made. I've met William fishing. I mean, you couldn't ask for better people in fishing. It's been a little low last year, but it's coming back, and I want to support my community and the lake, and that's me.
Yeah. Well, again, thank y'all for coming on. So we just wrapped up. Will, tell us what this is.
This is a smaller version of what I got. A smaller version of what I got. Mine is this big, and the number's different right here too. But this
Does yours have a 1 or is that yours has a big number 1?
Big fat 1 with a big fat chick that come with it too. Yep. But look, let me tell you something. I was more proud of you, man. You have no idea.
Dude.
When I read your name 3 times on Facebook, I said, Nolan West, that cannot be the Nolan West I know. Is he even fishing this tournament? Not Nolan. Yeah. Nolan? No, look, dude. Yeah, you did it.
Talking about that, that's the thing about Crazy Crappie Cash. Anybody, you've just started fishing and had never competition fished, and anybody can go out there and catch one big fish.
Yeah,
and that's what brings the people to it.
Well, I was feeling good about myself till he said it like that, and I was like, "Dang, he popped my balloon." But no. I'm joking. But no, man, like I said, that's why I wanted this net. I know we joke around talking about the trash fish, the bass. Y'all crappie guys, y'all hammer on largemouth, but that's mostly look, I'm not great at that, but that's mostly what I fish. In any tournaments that I fish, it's going to be bass. I'm not crappie fishing. If I am crappie fishing, it's going to be going with one of y'all, and we're going to do videos and that kind of stuff and have fun. But most of my crappie fishing growing up and even now is running yo-yos, going out there, spending time on the lake like y'all do for crappie. And I just started calling them crappie too. I've called them white perch forever, but just
white perch growing up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, I started hanging out with y'all and started calling them crappie, but yeah, that's how it's been. But I'm telling you, y'all, within when did we go? Was it last year about this time?
Yeah, actually it was.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what really turned me on. We were out there and y'all were showing me. I knew how to use a live scope to some degree, but y'all were going to show me the returns of the fish, like those crappie, and I could really see what a good 1.5 pound plus size crappie was, and us chasing them things out and being very selective, dude, it got in me. And so I've been trying to learn a thing or two from y'all. And
well, Steve said this tournament is anybody can win it, but your chances are a lot better if you're taught by guides. You're kind of proof in the pudding. I mean, anybody can win it, but your chances are better if you're taught the right way. So.
Yeah, no, I have. You ain't lying. I have learned a lot. But you know what was so interesting about that? Everybody, you look, the wind was so crazy, and everybody, y'all have the big boats. Not everybody. There's Slade Daniels, buddy of mine. He was out there in a duck boat and running a little mobile live scope setup, running off Milwaukee batteries. And I mean, he placed in a couple hours, I think, and so did good with the small duck boat. But like y'all were talking about letting water in your boat, like pulling the plug, letting water in, kind of weighing you down. Y'all got the paddles, all the other stuff in the back. And I'm out there in that 18-foot Express. And I'm telling you, if my transducer wasn't bouncing in and out of the water every time.
I seen you a few times.
Dude, I was wet all day long. Camera gear, thank God, it's somewhat weather sealed, but I stayed wet a lot. But what was so cool about that is all the different techniques that you can have when it comes to fishing in general, but specifically crappie fishing, like how y'all were out there with those big 16, 18-foot HH rods. I couldn't do that. I couldn't stay on the fish, so I had that Patriot, that HH Patriot. Man, it's like I was bass fishing. I was casting. I was slinging that jig out there, and anyhow, managed to catch a few. So it was fun, but I'm really enjoying it, and I love that tournament.
Well, Steve will host this tournament in the best time of the year because it gives everybody a good chance to catch a big crappie. You can sit on the bank and catch big female crappie right now, or you can get in a boat, John boat, fiberglass boat on the bank, whatever.
Yeah.
And you have a great chance of winning.
Yeah.
And, all that stuff we do, we're just trying to gain the advantage. But really, the biggest thing with crappie fishing is who's going to be the luckiest to want to come across that special fish. Yeah. It's luck. Yeah. They can say what they want. We're all good. We all know how to fish. Yeah. It's who is the luckiest person.
Right place. It's just like killing a big deer or anything else. Right place. Yeah. There's a lot of work that goes into it, but you got to be at the right place at the right time.
That's it.
Especially on just a weekend tournament like that.
Oh yeah, and like we was out there a bunch, and you was talking about how rough it was, a boat moving. A lot of people don't realize how much boat control plays into the factor because you got to keep it there, and you got presentation is everything on it.
Yeah,
and if you knock him in the head, he ain't gonna bite.
Yeah. There's a few times I feel like I did that I would go and I'd throw it because the feed or the return was coming in and out. I feel like I'm dancing left and right trying to keep my transducer, trying to keep that beam on the fish. And I knew my bait was kind of close. I just couldn't tell on the depth. And I had to weight it a little bit to be able to sling it out, 30, 35 feet. And I felt a few times that I felt like I'd hit a stump or something like that. And I'd try to reel it up past it. And I'd finally get back where I could see the return and the fish is swimming off. I'm like, probably just hit the dang fish.
Yeah.
Either that or he hit it and swam off one or the other.
Talking about that, I got one friend that is a great fisherman. He actually won Crappie Masters last year. He loves to cast. He will cast at a fish, and as soon as it hits the water, he's reeling his bait, but he's got the live. He's looking for another fish. He ain't paying no attention. He's reeling and looking. And just waiting on the strike. I can't do it. I mean, I want to see him go after it, but he don't care. He's just waiting to feel the bump.
Yeah.
But there's all kind of techniques. And then one of the big things, you can be a good fisherman, but when you're tournament fishing, you got to have your mindset. It's got to be right. I know one of the best tournament fishermen I know, he'll tell you, if his mind's on it, you can't beat him. But if he's got his mind on something else, anybody could beat him. But if he's in the right state of mind, you might as well write him a check.
Yeah.
And he knows who I'm talking about too.
Yeah. What are some of the things that separates a good tournament fisherman versus and strictly tournament fishing, but good tournament fisherman versus a great tournament fisherman?
Luck.
Really?
I really think it's just luck. I mean, there's the rods on the market. I don't think they make a bad crappie rod now. The line is all good. The baits are all good. The nets are good. The boats are good. So have confidence in your equipment. First of all, like he said, have your mindset right. That, okay, I have a job. I need to go do that job. Mm-hmm. Like first 2 hours of Saturday morning, my mind was not right.
Yeah.
Dude, when I pulled up to the ramp at about 5:45, and the devil jumped right in my boat at 6:46.
Yeah.
He did. I had problem after problem, and I was fussing and cussing and mad.
Yeah.
And it was after 7 o'clock before I ever got started. And I bounced around, and I realized, my mind, I was just so upset and distraught from little things. And I sat there and I said, you know what? These little problems are nothing. I'm out here fishing. And I started praying a little bit, just kind of get my mind at ease, and that's when it happened.
Yeah.
So it was luck that all that just lined up, But, man, I don't know, man. A great fisherman and a good fisherman, it's just, of course, you got to put the work in. You got to put the time in, have confidence in your equipment, go out when you can. I mean, not everybody has the luxury of the time, to go out every day and fish. But I think in the end, it's just luck. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean,
maybe, but there's
some skill there.
There's skill.
He's downplaying it because he just won that big fat check. And he's about to win another one that's coming up weekend at the Crappie Masters. But I do agree that you got to be at the right place in the right time. But to be able to get to that point and know the place to be in and know where they are, it is a lot of work that goes into that. And I mean, Kevin Van Dam, he hasn't been at the top and still at the top for years and years and years just based off luck. So I know that there is some with it, but to credit yourself and Steve's and other fishermen, top tier fishermen like y'all, it's a good bit of skill and knowledge that comes into that.
I don't know. I think it was 50-50 skill and luck when I caught that fish because I had the wind to my back dragging paddles and I'm bumping the brakes trying to stay on her with what was a mile per hour wind that day. It was 20,000 miles an hour. And I dropped that jig on her and she come up and hit and I missed her.
I think it was Force 1 hurricane.
Yeah. And I dropped right back down and hooked her again and got her. And I had no idea she was that big. So it was skill, but it was luck too.
Well, when I'm fishing a tournament, everybody knows I'm going to get out my vein of weenies and eat lunch. William's not going to even drink nothing. He unless Ronald just pokes something in his mouth.
Sticks a straw in his mouth.
He's not going to stop. I'm going to stop and eat something.
Yeah.
And that's the difference between me not being at the top. There's got to be some drive in there.
Yeah.
All professional athletes have that drive that's above and beyond. And William's sitting there. I can name 15 or 20 that I know out of that 15 or 20 is going to be in the top. But look, I stopped today and they're going to fish till dark tonight. They're looking for those fish.
Talking about people prepping for the Crappie Masters?
Yeah, pre-fishing right now for the Crappie Masters. And I'm not quite as mad at them as some of the guys. So, you get it what you put in it is, I guess, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's a lot of dedication. I can't tell you how much time Will spends. He'll call me and said, "You fishing?" I said, "Heck no, I ain't fishing. It's too bad." Well, man, you ain't going to never get better if you don't get out there.
He'll tell me, "You didn't watch the weather this morning?" Yeah, that's why I'm out here.
Well, why are there so many good tournaments coming to Darbone? I mean, Darbone's been a hot spot for a while, but I know y'all have talked about, and I've heard a few other people talk about just by doing the Farmerville videos and stuff, the slot limit. But it's 7 fish. You can keep 7 over 12 inches now. Mm-hmm. What was it before, and when did that change?
You could keep 50 over 12. And
holy smokes! So
we've got a real good biologist in Louisiana, and the Lake Commission takes a lot of heat for some of the stuff that it doesn't control the lake, but it makes suggestions to the Louisiana Wildlife Fishery and DOTD. So our biologist done some studies, and I've got the full report of the study, and I've read it from cover to cover many times, and Lake Darbone was, I think they closed the spillway in 1963, and it you couldn't see across the lake. It was live cypress trees out everywhere. You drive Turtle Island, you could just see a ring of trees out there. Now you can see everywhere in the lake. The trees are rotted at the top, right below the top of the water. He said the nutrients in the lake, being a mature lake, are way under what we need. The lake is overstocked with small fish, and they're hurting the growth of the larger fish. Well, a lot of the local people, and I understand where they're coming from. Well, who cares? They're fish. They're edible, and so, but for the sake of Farmville, Union Parish, surrounding area, Monroe profit spot, Ruston profit spot, tourism is a big industry. And that's one of the few things that we got in Farmville is tourism. Mm-hmm. The tournaments have made it popular, 8, 10, 11, 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. The tournament started and they had great results, big numbers. And that brought a lot of people. I meet people from Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, everywhere. I meet them all during the year. They come down and spend a week at Darbone because they've seen it on one of the tournament trails fishing or somebody's podcast. And that's what helps keep Farmville alive. And knock on wood, with all the stuff going on at Farmville, we've got a mayor that has a passion for the lake, and he has supported us. Everything we wanted to do on the lake, he supported us. And I'm not going to say anything negative about, I'm not a politician, but I promise you he is 100% behind the lake, and anything they do to promote Farmville.
Yeah.
Mayor John Crow.
Oh, he's a stud. He really is. He ain't one you're gonna go sit down and have a beer with, because that ain't him. But that old saying that you want to vote somebody in office you feel like you can go sit down and have a beer with. Oh. We've had lunch with him a lot and have shot the bull and all that kind of stuff. And again, you ain't gonna sit there and drink a beer with him, but he'll drink some tea, or I don't know if he drinks Diet Coke or what he drinks, but he'll sit there, and I'm telling you, he is the most down to earth. Like, he fits Farmerville good. Farmerville fits him good. But now he does the work and the effort that him and his whole administration is putting in.
Well, he's got a little bad press, or a lot of bad press, because he goes and gets things done. He wasn't a politician when he come to office, but he was able to get stuff done, and sometimes he jumps the gun a little bit, but
he's excited.
More power to you, bud.
Yeah, he's excited. He might be a politician by he's not one by trade, I guess what I'm trying to say.
No.
He absolutely isn't. So with the slot, what do you think the state of the lake is right now? Is it as good as it's ever been?
I think it's healthy.
Yeah, it is. It is, and that's why the biologist put the slot on it, and we're gonna try it 3 years. He's gonna do it. He did a big survey before. They take samples, they shock fish, they count fish. They 3 years, we're going to look at it again if the lake's doing better. And look at the tournament. We had over 2-pounders this year than any year so far.
That's what we were just talking about. I mean, with the fish last year, was it Crappie Masters last year? I asked Will a while ago, but I think 198 was the biggest crappie at Crappie Masters last year. And you're talking about the best crappie fish. I think that's what the weight was, but if that's what it was, is 198. It wasn't. I don't think there's one caught over 2. And you got the best crappie fishermen in the country are coming down, and they're fishing that for 2 days.
And how many 1/8s and 1/9s did we weigh this past weekend? It was insane.
Man. I had people come to me and said, I probably caught 50 180s, 190s. He said, I wouldn't come in because I was seeing all those 2s up there. He said, I wanted to win an hour.
Yeah.
But I had so many people said that we were catching 1/8s, 1/9s. Well, what are those 1/8s, 1/9s going to be next year?
Yeah.
They're going to be 220s.
Well, here's another thing too, though. Traditionally, your males, they're always smaller in the fish species than your females. Yeah. Especially this time of the year, the females, they're going to have 5 pounds of eggs in them, is what it feels like. But big old blowed up bellies. How many of those that we weighed in were males? Like there's a good bit of males. We had some really big males.
Yeah. What do you think the weigh-in would have been? I mean, that's the worst weather I've seen a tournament ever.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was all the way up to 10:30, 11 o'clock before people could even get on the water. I think they was fishing out the truck window because I wasn't going to stick my head out from under that shed.
Did you see the video that Will posted with that 18-foot assassin in his boat?
Oh,
you see that?
Use it as a dang lightning rod.
Look, we all had science in school, right? It works. Yeah. Am I here talking? Yeah.
Well,
the 18-foot rod is disintegrated, but hey, I'm good.
Lord bless you twice. He saved your life, and it was only by the grace of God that you outfished me on that tournament. I'm here to tell you. Yeah. But no, it was a lot of really good fish, and so going from 50 fish to whatever you wanted to keep, whatever weight or size, to only 7, there's no doubt that's gonna help. Yeah. I mean, we're seeing right now that is helping with all that bad weather and still turning out like it did.
Yeah, because
Well,
I've been taking clients out for, since they really started it, and 90% of the fish they catch are over 12 inches. Aggravating to me because I want the clients to keep all the fish they catch, but I could see it very quickly. It was an affecting the lake, you know.
Well, and that's to say that once he does his survey, if the big fish population is where it should be, then you may see it change back. Now, I like starting rumors too.
Lay it on us, Steve.
There were some politicians from mid-Louisiana that got elected this year that are biologists. And he told me straight up at the Pro-Am legislator tournament that we have annually every year on, he said his goal was for all of Louisiana to be a 25 fish creel limit for crappie. And I think we may be the only state in the union that
I'm not against that either. You know, I'm really not.
But
why is that? Why do you think 50 is too many?
Well,
let's just flip that around. 25 is plenty.
25 is a lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 people in the boat, that's 50.
Yeah.
I mean, and I couldn't tell you the last time I've kept 50 fish.
Oh, no. I'm not going to stand at St. and clean 25. 15's my limit, and they're going to be a pound, a quarter. That's the size I like to eat. And yesterday we went fishing. Probably, how many did we throw back?
Well, that lake you can only keep 25.
But I mean, how many big fish? I mean, there were some guys come by. I was in the back of my boat throwing out some of them 2-pound fish. Hey, if you don't want them, I want them. I said, no, I'm going to throw them out so you'll have fish to catch next year.
Yeah.
Everybody I know that I fish with competitively, 1.5, 1.6 is probably as big as any of them keep.
Yeah.
And all the big girls, the big males, we throw them back. I mean, that's the ones that generate your hatch.
Yeah. So people listening to a 2-pound crappie, that's a big white perch, son. That's a big one. I know there's a lot being caught, but you go to somewhere like Grenada, that's what we was talking about before you got here. Grenada, that chocolate milk looking lake, is it always dark, stained, just muddy like that?
Many times I've been there, it's always
like that. But you go over there, I mean, it's nothing for people to catch 3-pounders every time they go, is it? I mean, is it pretty? You
got a good chance of catching a 3-pounder. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'll go up and down in years. Like the last 2 years, 3-pounders were kind of down, but this year's a bumper crop again. They're catching so many over 3.
Yeah.
And that lake's a prime example for the whole country because they just about drain that lake every year. It's a Corps of Engineer lake. It's made to control the flooding, in Grenada and this and that. They'll bring it down to nothing.
So their drawdowns are annually.
You can't even put a boat in the lake.
Really?
Oh,
it's a flood control lake is what it is.
So how does that correlate to big monster healthy fish?
It's got a lot of nutrients, and that's what Darbone's hurting for. It's a mature lake. There's no nutrients in it. I mean,
so you're talking about I saw that doing all the drone stuff of Darwin. Sorry to cut you off, but once the water levels come down, the banks they're covered in green.
Oh yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
This gives the okay.
Well, actually, the biologist done some sample planting this year to make recommendations for future drawdowns of stuff that could be planted that would help the nutrients level in the lake. And one of his key things is for bass and crappie and brim, there used to be certain types of vegetation from the Ruston Bridge down towards Spillway. There's no vegetation down there now. And he's looking into that. That's one thing he's looking into for all those bass fishermen, the commission, a lot of the ramp money, people talk bad about it. A lot of the ramp money went into stocking this year. Mm-hmm. We got on a program similar to Lake Claiborne, did F1 tiger bass, and a bunch of people turned out, took them, put them in their secret spots. scattered 40,000 of them all over the lake. So we're going to repeat that next year. And
we'll be doing that again this year too.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I was fishing with a guy the other day, and that's what he said. He said, man, Darbone is a great place. Like and actually I had him on the podcast. It's Brennan Flick. And he's like, man, I'm telling you, he said, it could be a sleeper. He said for bass fishing. He said, there's 10 plus pounders all over that lake.
There's 13-pound bass in it.
Yeah. And
we know that 100%.
I mean, 11 got caught out of there just 2 days ago, 3 days ago. It was a big fish, but that's what he said. He said, man, if they did what they did this past year about stocking with those bass, that strain, he said, I'm telling you, he said, it'll be the best lake in this area for bass fishing. He said, better than Claiborne, better than Caney. And he's like, and I love fishing Claiborne and Caney. And that's big words. Like that's big.
It's got so much more personality.
Yeah.
That personality just stands out on Darbone. You just can't believe it.
Well, it's all because of you. That's what it is, ain't it?
John Crow's the mayor, but he's a close runner-up. I'll tell you, this man right here. Yeah.
No, it is fun. Well, let's see. I had some things in here that I wanted to hit on. Oh, that's one. I don't really want to fall under I guess, a spell of hammering of live scope and all that kind of stuff. Everybody talks about that on every podcast and every YouTube video, and they've been doing it, why you love it and hate it and cheating and all that kind of stuff for years. So I don't want to talk about that, but preferred techniques. You're saying something about where y'all went yesterday over at Poverty Point. There's a lot of guys spider rigging. I thought that's been dead for a while. It just shows you little I know. But so I guess what are y'all's thoughts on that? I guess kind of even tied into fish numbers. Is that something that people think that by having a live scope, your crappie, the numbers are going to go down? I think that's people tried to prove that several times and it hasn't done.
You know, we all went to this lake and of course most of us were live scoping and these single fish and picking them up. But I have some buddies out there. One of my best friends with his dad on this lake, and they were beating the banks with cork and shiner. So I went over to them and gave them some fish, and I just sat and watched them. And me and him was reminiscing 13 years prior in that lake how we used to fish these spots with corks and shiners this time of year, and I told him, I said, I really miss this. Just no pressure, not looking at a screen, just sitting with him, talking, getting sunburnt, and pitching corks on the bank. I mean, that's still fun to me.
Yeah,
it is. So, we got caught up in technology, and the newest thing comes out, we got to have it, and we're going to use it. But man, I still miss the old school way too.
Yeah.
But as long as that forward facing sonar is working, I'm gonna be using it. It is what it is. But I'm still not against doing the old school way. I'm not going to say spider rigging so much. I did it for a while. I hated it.
Yeah.
I'd always hook a gar to the right. He'd take a hard left and tangle up all my lines. And it was just, yeah. But anyway, so it just really, that lake would prove to us that you can still catch these crappie any way you want to. But why get upset at a man looking at a screen all day, or why get upset at a man pitching corks, or why get upset at a man spider rigging? If you're fishing and enjoying yourself, go do it. Mm-hmm. It don't matter.
Yeah.
It's no different than bow hunting or anything with a long bow or a crossbow or a compound.
With a rangefinder and everything else.
If you love it, do it.
Yeah.
And don't,
Well, look, I love the old school way, but I'm like going out there with just like an old ultralight or get old. I still have a Zebco 33, and I can't wait to be taking Vaughn out there here soon and going and with some shiners and pitching them up on the bank and catching them that way. Yeah. Like that's going to be a blast. But I'm telling you, there's something to be said about chasing the big fatties out in that deep water and head hunting for them.
You're hunting. I mean, this is hunting on water.
Man, it's
a new challenge.
Yes.
I don't know. I passed one boat up in that graveyard yesterday, and I could hear them talking. I made the whole circle in there, talked to a couple people on their docks, and those guys, he said, man, we don't even have to throw out a dang anchor. I done got me a spot lock. And he said, we're going to sit here. He was looking forward, had about 8 poles out. A guy on the back was turned towards the motor, had about 8 poles out. And you could hear them. They was having a ball out there. And every once in a while, when I'm, woo, look here, what I done got.
Yep.
They was enjoying life now. It don't get better than that.
No, it really doesn't. That is fun. So one thing about crappie fishing, especially tournaments, you can use live bait. I did not know that until Crazy Crappie Cash.
Not all tournaments.
Not all of them.
Okay. So what about Crappie Masters?
Yes.
You can use live, you can use shiners.
Yes.
That's crazy. Dude, you show up with live bait at a bass tournament, you're gonna get your teeth knocked in. It ain't happening.
Well, they got when we went to a big tournament every year. It's been in North Arkansas or South Missouri, and there's no live bait. But there's some manufacturers out there now that's making bait that looks live. I'm talking about it smells, tastes. It looks like a minnow but no, there's some that still won't let you use live bait.
Yeah.
And it comes back, it's commercial. You know, who are the big sponsors? Well, we try keeping cooters alive in Farmville, so we want live bait.
Yeah, Cooters is a little gym for Farmville.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There ain't no telling how many shiners and them song, how much live bait that they sell.
Yeah.
There's no...
Now, if you go to Richard, he ain't going to want live bait at Spotted Dog.
No, I guarantee you one thing, Richard, he ain't going through Farmville without stopping in at Cooters and spending no telling how much on shiners. We may not sell them down at the store, but yeah, he's going to go and he's going to have his little shiner, little minnow bucket. I guarantee you he's going to fill it up, whether he's fishing with them or not. But look, his wife, Miss Nikki, she's been smashing them. They've been going out there talking about just doing the same thing. I think Richard said maybe it was last weekend or weekend before, that maybe 2 weeks ago, they were out there and he's working on the toilet or doing something with water line or something like that maybe. And Nikki, he went and gave her that shiner bucket and I don't know what kind of rod and reel. She had something. And he went inside and he came back out and I think he said she had a 5-gallon bucket slap full of crappie in no time. So, and I guess it was crappie. Maybe it could have been brim or something.
No,
I don't know,
that's crappie where they're at.
Yeah.
Yeah. He grew up right there. He knows that lake. Don't kid yourself.
Yeah.
He's been all over that end of the lake.
He bought a new boat, didn't he?
He did.
Oh,
Yeah, from Ludwig,
yeah,
New Phoenix.
big green logo.
Yep.
Look, Richard, it took you, how long have we been trying to talk that song into buying a boat? Since this time last year. He got bit by the bug last year, and we're proud of you, son. We're glad you finally
I'm still waiting on a ride. You have not invited me for a ride
Shoot,
yet.
me too. I tried to get in there the other day, and one day last week, help him with some of his setup, and I think he's got it pretty dialed in, but I was going to be like, hey, if you need help with something, let me know. I was just trying to get in the dang boat and just feel what a nice boat felt like. And anyhow, he's like, no, see, you going over there and somewhere and fish.
Getting your express.
Yeah, you getting that little cheap $5 express with your metal floors and all that.
Look, you go sit in his new Phoenix and ride around a little bit, then just go to Ludwig, see Mitch. He'll have the paperwork ready.
Yeah.
You can sign for one yourself.
Yeah, look, all jokes aside, and you're really not joking about that, but for real, even being a Phoenix, I thought Phoenix, because every one of them was 80, 90, 100 grand, 110 grand. He's got a fine boat for half or even less than that cost.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about this, was it a 19 foot?
I believe it is. Yep.
Yeah.
It's 18 something, 9 or something
This is
like
a big boat, and that sun gun is beautiful. And I'm talking about, didn't pay much more than what I paid for my metal express, aluminum express.
Well, up into 10 years ago, I fished some bass trails. And we were fishing out of a 17-foot boat with a 150, and that was the biggest thing anywhere. I mean, people feared seeing that thing come down the lake. But now, I mean, a 250 is not nothing anymore.
Everybody has a show or a Mercury 250 on the back.
Every once in a while, you'll see a 400R come blowing by you.
Yeah. Doing 101.
Jeez.
Yeah.
What boat?
Through Darbone.
Oh yeah. What did you tell me when we were out there the other day? I was like, dude, I'm having trouble going and getting to this part of the lake because it's not an actual run going through there. And you remember what you told me about the stumps?
Well, that's what some of my friends always told me. If you can't see it, it's not there.
He told me, if you can't see it, it ain't there. And look, that's what my eyes did. I looked at him, I was like, bruh, let me tell you something. I ain't got but a 90-horse show on the back of this thing. My whole motor probably costs less than what your lower unit does, but still, I ain't trying to go and tear something up. But let me tell you, when I caught that fish and I called you, I'm like, dude, what's winning the hour? Because it's a little too early for you to post on Facebook yet. And anyhow, I don't think you told me, but I was like, well, I caught a good one. Like, I got to get up there. But I knew, I was like, as far back as I am, there's no way I'll be able to run all the way north and get to Rhett's to be able to get there in time. Like, it just ain't no way. Son, let me tell you something. I got up on plane quick, and I was running through that stump field wide open. Yeah, I had my AirPods in. I was like, and I was looking. I said, if I don't see it, it ain't there. And dude, I marked it on my graph. I ran that same within inches. I ran that same spot back and forth the whole time. Yeah, if they ain't those stumps. If you don't see them, they ain't there.
Yeah, they are, because I hit one. Which is the reason my boat's at Ludwig's right now, getting a new jack plate put on. Yeah, I busted mine. So they're there. That's the difference between me and you, lucky and unlucky. You know, just like fishing, luck.
Yeah, I don't know. My plaque says 3 and yours says 1.
Hey, it don't matter.
Look,
you still smiling the same way,
dude. I'm telling you, I could not be more happy, and that's why I told Jacqueline, my wife, I was like, dude, I went out there to film and to take pictures. Like I was out there Saturday morning before the storm. Like, we were filming at 5:45, 6 o'clock in the morning, sending updates out to everyone, and then took Vaughn to the birthday party. I got back around lunch, or maybe a little bit before lunch, something like that. I was flying my drone, just getting some stuff, and I'm like, I'm entered in this thing. I might as well fish for a minute. And end up catching that.
I think so. Did he even pay an entry fee? Because he showed up so late. You know, we don't like guys like you just show up with an hour or two and then win the whole.
15 minutes, actually.
15 minutes.
Yeah, should have gave me the whole day, both days. Let me tell you. Yeah, as much money as he paid me to do the promotional stuff for that event, I could afford the $150 entry fee.
Oh yeah,
man.
Yeah.
So you collected on a trophy and you worked and got paid.
William, he could afford to get into the next 20 years.
Man.
Look, third place, I won second place in an hour for that fish, and then third place overall, $1,450. How many other tournaments are going and doing that? I don't know of any.
But you did get a good taste of how those tournaments can go, because, man, when you weighed, what'd you weigh, 226?
No, 236.
236. And got beat by 237.
I was first place for a little while too.
Yeah.
$6,000.
An ounce.
Yeah.
1 ounce.
The next person that walked up, Kyle walked up and weighed a 237.
I mean, what are the odds?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I'm going to tell you though, like I'm a very competitive person. Very competitive person.
So you was going to punch him?
No. I couldn't be more excited. Like I wasn't there to fish. I was there to work. Like, I mean, if I got to fish some, that's great. But I came there to fly my drone to get promotional stuff. So a year from now, or 10 months from now, when we're posting everything about Crazy Crappie Cash 2026 on Darbone, I wanted to have more than enough content to be able to go and post and share. So that's what I went for. So I already won. I'm getting to work out there on Lake Darbone. And so anyhow, I won the lottery already just by doing that. And as competitive a person as I am, when he walked up, not one time was I like, are you kidding me? I'm telling you, I was stoked. And even you, like that Sunday morning, I saw on Facebook and I called you, sorry, sap sucker, but he had a 244 and I'm like, that bumped me to third, but freaking let's go, big wheel. I was excited, but it was a lot of fun. It's a good tournament.
Oh, we had a great time. Will's wife come up, and she was sitting there, and we said, what can we do? We got to put Will on the edge. And so we come up with that video, and Jeremy, he throwed that in at the last. That wasn't scripted about, there's a big one just hit the scales. And she said, y'all are going to kill William. Y'all are going to give him a heart
You don't realize
attack.
the stress she was putting her through, too, because she's like, are y'all serious? She's looking. Oh, they lied. She would look. When I weighed that fish that morning, like, what was that, like 9:30? I don't remember now, but I called her. I called her as soon as I left the weigh-in, almost in tears. I said, you're not going to believe it. I just dropped a big one. I'm in first. And I shouldn't have done that, because from that point on, she was so nervous. Oh, my God. Look, the first year I won it, the very first one I had, I won it too. Up until it said 4 o'clock on that clock when it was over, she was so nervous.
Sweating bullets.
Every time somebody walk up, oh my God, they got a big fish in that bag. Oh my God. She's my biggest fan, biggest supporter, but she gets more stressed than I do.
Yeah. I mean, dude, you're talking about what first place $6 grand.
6,000. Yeah.
But you're getting $350 for an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you win, well, clearly if you drop that big of a fish, you're going to win first place in an hour and overall.
I had a fifth and 2 first and big overall, $6,700. Yeah. So
Well,
dude, that's strong.
You know what's impressive is one person didn't win an hour, but still collected $1,050.
Mm-hmm.
But he was weighing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you can make your gas money right there.
it's the best format. And Steve, he puts so much work, and I know he's got other people that helped him, but I watched this man for months on end, collecting sponsors, collecting money, collecting prizes, and doing this and that. He done an amazing job, but it's one of the funnest formats you can.
Yeah.
I wish every tournament was formatted like that one, an hourly payout, because you'd have so many people that just doesn't even feel like, well, I'm a professional, I'm not going to sign up for a national trail. They would sign up for this tournament.
Well, there's guys from 3.5, 4 hours north. They said they fished it the last. This is the fourth year.
Fourth year.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
they fished it the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And he won one of the hours. I don't remember the gentleman's name, but it's like I said, it's 3.5, 4 hours away somewhere in Arkansas. Him and his buddy and their two wives came down and they got to fish. And man, that's awesome.
We had a decent turnout. It was lower than expected, but people were looking at that weather forecast all week, and I can understand somebody driving from. I had one friend that I fished with a lot. He was bringing two people with him, and he just couldn't make it. I mean, a storm come right through there. That was a deadly storm. I heard 40 people got killed in that storm. But I can understand. But if you can't control the weather when you set it up, what we pinned. I got with Blake last year, Blake at Crappie Masters, and he told me what day he had planned. And so we planned this one the week before to give people a chance to come in and fish crazy Crappie Cash and win some expense money to be able to fish Crappie Masters.
Yeah.
And we did have some people do that. And we've got a little deal going on with Crappie Masters.
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask you about. Tell us what it is.
Well, if you fished crazy Crappie Cash, you're in a pool that if you fish Crappie Masters this week on Darbone, whoever is in that pool and catches the biggest fish will win an additional $500.
He feels it in his pocket. He said, you bring your checkbook, you might as well go ahead and pay up. Look, you better be glad I got my niece's first birthday party because I'd take that $500 from you.
Dude, if I see your name on the roster, I'm just gonna sit on the bank and eat a sandwich.
And I did tell Will and the rest of them, I said, I'm gonna catch the biggest one, but I'm not gonna keep it. The money's to pay. So I'm gonna, they can just, admire that fish.
Yeah.
It'll be there, but I'm going to pay the second winner.
Yeah, that's it. First.
I think if you catch it, you deserve to pay yourself.
No.
He deserves to pay himself.
No.
Yeah, he ain't going to do it.
that
But
money's
he won't do it.
Yeah. No.
Well, if I win it, I'll take you out for a steak dinner. How about that?
We go next door to Doe's over here.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, if it was later on, normally we do these later in the afternoon, and this was earlier midday. But if it was later in the afternoon, shoot, we'd run to Parrish and get some duck wraps real quick.
Oh,
and some roasted oysters. Look, well, it's 3 now. We got an hour and a half. We ain't gonna be talking for another hour and a half.
Yeah, I'm hungry now.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I am too. But you got the lake commission tonight, dude. The work, and again, I say this because I do all the video stuff for Farmerville. The work that how many times have you seen this song go? I guess this is just a brag about Steve podcast. I guess is really what it is. But
He's the man. I'm telling you.
how many times have you driven through Farmerville pulling your boat or whatever else? Because if you go through Farmerville, I know you got that red boat behind you, but you're going through there and you see him on that tractor or you see him out there on a skid steer or a track hoe or something.
This man
on.
all the time is doing work or maintenance to the ramps, to the parking lots. He's setting up concrete workers to redo the ramps when the lake was down. I mean, people just don't realize, and it really burns me up when people come in there and abuse these ramps and these parking lots and cut donuts and throw trash out. I mean, I carry bags in my truck a lot of times. I'll pick trash up and throw it. it just is what it is. There's sorry, lazy people everywhere you go in this country, but when your good friend like Steve is doing all that work, and it's not just Steve, it's a lot of people, but Steve, I mean, he does a lot. It just really it really aggravates you that people just take advantage of that. They just say, well, it's not my problem. But yeah, Steve, man, that's why he's John Crow's sidekick, man. That's why Steve gets stuff done.
Yeah, well, that's why I love Farmville so much. Is there's a lot of Steves.
It's a great town. We really moved there 4.5, almost 5 years ago, and Steve was one of the really first good friends I made in Farmerville. He really was, and it was through fishing, of course, but man, we click like peas and carrots. I mean, I'm always at his house, he's always at mine. We're hanging out, going out to eat lunch all the time, talking about fishing. Talking about everybody. We talk about each other when we're not around each other. So
yeah, we go off and fish a lot of tournaments too.
Yep.
But we get a lot of heat in the Lake Commission and over the ramp money. But this year alone, or last year, one load of that SB2 gravel delivered from Little Rock cost us $1,300. That's a lot of boat launches. But we've got ramps. Darbone's got more ramps than any other lake.
Yeah.
And we've got some great folks up at Hog Pen that take care of it. We sent a load of gravel up there today. They were going to spread it themselves. So there's great people all over the lake. We had an anonymous supporter of the lake initially start buying the gravel and putting it in. And he don't want no recognition. He loves the lake. He loves Farmville.
Yeah.
And that we got people like that. But now we're keeping a stockpile at each ramp, and so it makes it easy on me. I can go out there and scoop up a couple buckets and put where we got a lot of kids. Me and Will was talking about the other day, it's a great donut turning place. I'd have probably done it too. I don't want them to do it.
I did do it when I was younger.
Yeah. I mean, look, everybody did, but it's like,
yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's the nicest thing we got around right now. And we spent a lot of money. It's public knowledge. Anybody can search it and find out. At Terrell Island, we tore that whole ramp out and completely redone it. And it to me, it looks real nice. I've had some comments. I think maybe some of the people that live close by didn't quite like it because they had a private ramp, but a lot of people's using it now.
Yeah.
It's really nice. It's wider. It's at a better angle. And they redid the pier out there. And we got most of the water stopped draining across the parking lot, cutting ditches. But last year I went down there 5-6 times, drove a tractor down there and graded it, try to keep the ditches out of it. But we done some measures to stop that this year. And so the ramp money is essential. It's really the only maintenance for like stocking and helping keep the ramps up and stuff. And then everybody has their own opinion, but I will say this much. The mega ramp is at the Corps of Engineers right now. It's still on. Yeah. It's at the Corps. John was actually going to try finding out. He told me today he was going to try finding out how far in the Corps it is and where it's at. So,
yeah. I'm there, if not every week, several times a month, working on stuff and getting content of events and whatever else. And that's one thing I ask about. I mean, I feel like I got the scoop and I can kind of ask on the inside, like, hey, where are we at with the mega ramp? Like, that's something I'm excited about. Like that. And that's really the first project that brought me in to helping y'all out with this stuff and the promotional side of things. And it's the same thing. It's like, it's out of our hands. We're just waiting. And so a lot of people, look, we all get impatient, but I'm telling you, if you're listening, you're wondering about that, which if they're listening to this podcast, they probably ain't throwing a fit anyways. But if you know somebody is, it's being worked on. There's progress being made. It's just, it's just slow. It's just takes
People
time.
are just silly about it. As soon as they announce a mega ramp's coming to Farmerville,
They won't
2
see a
weeks went by, there was no mega ramp.
Yeah,
y'all just
yeah,
wasted. Y'all stole our tax money.
Right.
What? Do what?
Yeah.
Do you realize how big this project is?
Yeah.
I mean,
and there's some of these things I can't really speak in depth on, but like people would be amazed at how much money and like how much good stuff goes on in Farmerville and is backed by grant or backed by something that's not coming by Farmerville or Union Parish taxpayers. Like there's a lot. Like there's Lake Darbone's a gem, and our state and even our country, they recognize it. And so, especially and again, it's not me or just the team, but everything that y'all have done to really kind of help show off and get the word out of all the good stuff going on in Union Parish. Those big wigs up north, they realize that, and it's a little bit easier to get some money sent down for big things, big projects like the mega ramp and stuff. But people, they don't have a clue about that.
Well, also, I want to make sure people understand that, Farmville claims Darbone, but Darbone belongs to it was built by the state, but it was a water reservoir, and Ruston has rights and Farmville has rights to Lake Darbone. That's how the original papers was wrote up. Is both of them had it for. I guess they was worried about the aquifers and stuff like that in the time, but yeah, that's what it was built for.
Yeah,
and Farmville, Ruston capitalized on it too, because you know how we're in need of hotels in Farmville, and Ruston, lots of people stay there. They got good hotels.
It's as close to Ruston as it is to Monroe.
Well, West Monroe does too. I mean, Stowe Creek take you 30 minutes?
That's to get to like Thomas Road or Well Road. Yeah, 30 minutes.
Easy.
Yeah, it's 20. It's like 21 minutes from my house to the boat launch at Stowe Creek.
I can leave the Honey Hole and be there in
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Be at Spillway.
Yeah.
No, it's good for the whole area. This central northeast Louisiana area.
Mm-hmm.
And it's big enough to accommodate tournaments and stuff, and that's what helps.
Well, and the skiing. Dude, I didn't realize there was many ski areas until this past summer. We started getting that drone up, flying, and getting that kind of stuff. Dude, there's ski areas. People, and I'm talking about big. I ain't talking about little ones. It's big areas with big boats. People doing triple backflips with wakeboards, and people breaking arms with tubes and that kind of stuff. I mean, they throwing down, but it is fun. Do you think the Lake Commission, do you think y'all were ever try to go and push? I'm sure that just by bringing this up, your head's going to be put on a platter, and so is mine. But push instead of a 5-year drawdown to maybe even 3, and then try.
Oh no, that's under discussion every time, and our recommendation goes off the biologist report, and it's always been. It was big discussion this time. We had public comments and everything about going to a 5 or 6 year drawdown. And one thing I will say about the biologist report that people will not acknowledge is, and this may help Grenada, when the drawdown comes the every 4th year, we have a great spawn after. Matter of fact, he says it's the best spawn after the drawdown every time. And people, that's BS, but what it does, it dries out the spawning areas, and they spawn better in a harder situation. And 4 years, you get the silt build up, and it's not as good a spawn.
Well, you got that vegetation, like we were talking about that green. You drove through there just 5-6 months ago, before October, September, and it was just green all along.
Behind my house, it was beautiful.
Yeah. I almost wanted to go out there and mow it.
I bet the biologist would be more apt to recommend a 2-year drawdown.
Yeah.
Than going longer.
Has he not done that yet?
Oh, he reckon. I hadn't been on it but a little over a year now, and I try reading all the reports that he presents to us, and the push was the general conception is a drawdown, fish go out the spillway, but that's not true. I mean, fish go upstream.
Mm-hmm.
But we've seen great results already, and the lake ain't been up, 2 or 3 months?
Oh, yeah.
3 months, something like that.
It's fishing amazing.
Yeah. Well, another thing too is you got that, but you have that slot limit. That's why I asked earlier. You may have said, and I don't remember, when did that go into effect?
Last year.
So this is the first full year.
Yeah.
That we had, and it's made. Which I know crappie, they're like rabbits. They multiply quick. But you're talking about, again, I'm gonna hammer it one more time. A 198 in crappie masters. We had, what do we say, 12, maybe 15 over 2 caught. Yours was 244. Second place was 237. Third.
What was third place?
Third place was here, hold on. Let me read. Here, let's see. Here, just read that one time.
236.
236. But fourth, Wesley Miller. Wesley got 234 and 233.
There was 4 230s.
Yeah.
And then it was 232, 233, 234, 236, 237, 244. I mean, they was.
Yeah.
I think the drawdown works. It works.
Oh, yeah.
And we hammer and we go back to Mississippi on Grenada. That lake's drawn down every single year.
Yeah.
Every single
and
year.
We're talking about 25 foot.
And it is known across the country for 3.5 pound crappie.
So what's the negative side effects to a drawdown? Because not everybody wants to fish. Everybody needs to be concerned about it because of the revenue that it brings in to Farmerville and Union Parish and the surrounding areas. But there's got to be some negatives to a drawdown.
It condenses the population of fish, so it's easier to catch fish, and that's always my concern. People taking more than they should.
Yeah,
I mean, even going over creel limits, especially on bass. I mean, bass could be devastated real quick when you throw all those bass right in the creek and that's scattered out over thousands of acres. I mean, I know I used to bass fish, and
it got nasty.
Oh, I could catch all you want.
So could you not go and implement something of a different limit during that time, during the drawdown?
I think there should be on the drawdown.
Yeah, and we've investigated that this year and actually talked to Louisiana Wildlife Fisheries about it. It's hard to do. You got to go jump through so many hoops and stuff, but that's on the table. Is reducing the limit during the drawdown, but it's more if we could raise better sportsmen or improve the knowledge of the young people that are learning to fish and about the future of the fishing, I think would do more good than anything. I mean, how long have we been talking? We used to didn't worry about it, but there's probably 10 times more boats out there now. Mm-hmm. I mean, if I caught 37 fish 20 years ago, I brought them home, cleaned them, didn't worry about it. If it was a 2-pounder in there, so what?
You eat off him today and tomorrow.
That's right. But I mean, there's 10 times more people fishing right now.
Well, and that's good. And same thing with hunting. The more people you have, I do know that it gets a little bit crowded, and that's a big thing in the duck hunting world right now. People are complaining about the public waters and like Upper Washita or whatever else. But you go and Felsenthal, all these different places that duck hunters hunt around here. There's only so much water that we get, and that water, those ducks, same way that the fish, they concentrate out of the big bodies of water down to those little small pockets and creeks. The ducks, they do the same thing. And then when you have way more duck hunters than what you have ducks or even duck holes, that causes complications. So I think they're working on that too. But I know that's completely kind of derailed a little bit. But if you're talking about a drawdown what do I know, talking about 3 years, but if it helps that much and you could drop from 5 years or go from 5 years.
We're on 4. The election year is a drawdown.
Okay, so it's every 4 years.
Every 4 years.
Yeah. Okay, I was thinking it was every 5.
Yeah, it's 4 years.
I may have gotten Greg Hicks to say that wrong in one of the videos then.
That's the only way we can remember.
Yeah. So good thing about it, we got 3 more years of John being in there until we get to voting back in. So that's a good part about that.
Yeah.
But what about like lake life though? So does that affect the skiers and tubers, drawdowns and stuff?
No, because it's in the off season, really.
Yeah. What's the last holiday of the summer?
Labor Day?
Yeah.
September?
It draws down the next week.
Oh, okay.
And then it's only, the drawdown is only supposed to last till Thanksgiving. If you have good dry weather, Thanksgiving is close the gates. If you have a rainy fall, then I've seen it run over into January or right bumping the end of December.
Yeah, it filled up quick this year.
It only took three rains, I think, and it was full. It was back in my boathouse.
That first big rain that we got, though, I mean, it was a lot of that stuff crossing over that Ruston Bridge.
Yep.
It's a lot of those stumps, they disappeared.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know where they went. Like I said, if you don't see them, they ain't there.
That's it. Yeah. If you're on a plane, you ain't got but that much in the water.
Well, if you got a jack plate, your boy here ain't got a jack plate, so I got to win another crazy crappie cash so I can get me a jack plate and pick that thing up. Yeah, I get up on plane and I trim up as high as I could going through there, and just where it started kind of walking a little bit and then kind of started bouncing. I was like, all right, let me pick it back down.
No, you want it to bounce. That's less in the water.
Yeah, well, it also helped when you hit it. You're already kind of bounced up and down, so you hit it, ricochet off of it.
And the more angle that motor's on, the less impact. That's a physics.
Yeah, that's about like
my lightning rod.
Your lightning rod.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Well, this will be our last podcast. I don't think we'll survive to the next one.
Either somebody's going to put a hit out on us, or we're dumb enough to do something idiotic enough that's going to put us under one or the other. But no, I appreciate you guys coming on. I want to make sure we hit on y'all sponsors and stuff. But one thing, this is kind of thinking about Farmerville, but we're always Farmerville, John and his team. They're always, and y'all too, but y'all are always thinking about what can you do for the kids? What can you do for something like the summer camps? What do y'all call them?
Big Fish Camp.
So the Big Fish Camp. So like that, just awesome stuff. Y'all go out. I mean, tell us about that real quick. What do y'all do?
Well, the Big Fish Camp is it's a great event put on by town of Farmerville, the state park, and they just allow all these kids to sign up that really normally probably don't get to go fishing or just don't have that family time. So we'll come in and we'll give them classes on knot tying and casting, have little games set up, and just spend time with these kids. And we'll take them out fishing, and that's
you need to come up.
It's fun for them. It's hectic for us because you're on a long pier at the state park, and there's kids lined up on both sides, and they're all slinging hooks from one way to the other. So you're going through there like this.
Yeah.
But it's really, man, when them kids catch those fish, it's really amazing to spend time with them. So we, Steve and I and several other volunteers, we love doing that with these kids, and there's a lot of things that we do for the veterans on that lake. Matter of fact, 1st of April, Kenny Cobb with Cooters is bringing in I don't remember the name of the event now, but he's bringing in several veterans. We took them out last year, putting them up in what's that? Terrell Island.
Yeah.
He's going to put them up there and feed them, and Lord of mercy, those guys, to hear their stories and spend time with them. So there's several events. The Tomb of the Unknown Soldier, they'll come into town. Yep. We'll take those guys out, those veterans. Legislators, we'll take them out. So it's really a lot and all it takes is John Crow calling, William, hey, I need your help. So I know Steve hears that all the time. So, but stuff like that, we really don't mind it. The kids, the veterans, all them people. I mean, it's an honor to do it, really.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm
gonna say one thing that I know y'all do that with the kids, but it'd be awesome to be able to go. I mean, this is something I'd benefit from. But we're talking about not just the younger generation, but the younger fishermen, maybe not as age, just learning the sport of fishing. Or I've always fished, but not like the level y'all do and what y'all are like teaching me in. So even having some older guys coming in, just learning live scope or learning different things. Well, I mean, that's one thing I realized. Everybody was as proud of you winning first place as they would have been for, maybe not as they would have been for them, but everybody, it's good, healthy competition is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. And so that would be awesome to be able to go and do on the lake. Go somewhere and get it where you could spend the day, spend several hours before lunch going over electronics, even if it's people bringing their boat and you got several guys that know what they're looking at and going like, all right, let's take your boat out and let's go and do what you'd be paying hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for, like the same stuff you do. If you need your electronics set up, call Big Will. You'll get his contact information, but he'll go with you and set up. You still do that, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I give classes on the lake all the time.
You do the lessons and all that stuff on the lake, like you said, all the time. But it'd be cool to be able to do something annually like that where you get some crappie or bass guys in, whoever, just you got electronics on your boat, or you just want to see the different methods of fishing or kind of what is really doing it right now and just the sport of it and just build a healthy generation of fishermen and fisherwomen out there, then that would be a really cool event to do.
Actually, I think Richard talked to John and about something on Darbone, like a expo.
We tried to make that happen this last year, and with everything we had going on, we just ran out of time.
If you had that at the lake somewhere, if we had some way to have it there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that is one of the things we talked about, that getting like the Garmin guru, getting him in and him speaking on live scope and electronics and all that. But that was going to be a big event, and that's really it got where it was too big, and that's why it just didn't happen. It's like, all right, here's all this planning, and it's so much more needs to be done, and we don't have enough time to do it and to do it right. So let's postpone it for a year and see. But we're talking about it now. We'll see if we'll make it happen this year.
I was going to ask you, are you going to sign up? But then I'm like, wait a minute. He's going to teach a class. You're going to be a teacher. You're not a student anymore. You're a teacher.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Nah, look, you. Every blind hog finds an acorn every now and then.
Yeah.
But it is fun. Go ahead and hit up some of your sponsors. I mean, both of y'all do this. I know you're a firefighter. First of all, thank you. We're all very appreciative of that.
I'll hit 25 years in August, so few more I can hang my helmet up, I hope.
Yeah, you'll be out there fishing all the time.
I'll be chasing Steve's retirement. Steve's retired, and I'm so envious of that.
He says he's retired. That son works harder and
he
works
works
more
tougher
now.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
But who's some of the people that keeps your boat in the water?
Oh, yeah. Look, first of all, Ludwig Marine, my boat's up there right now. I trust really nobody else but those guys. Gary Calloway, Mitch Ludwig, all them, the whole crew. Even that crazy Roy Hoy. I mean, he is nuts, but they're just good guys. You got a problem, call them up. They'll take care of you.
Yeah.
Of course, fishing the way we do, you got to have confidence in your equipment. And to me, it's the best what I use. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, but I use HH rod and reels. Man, I caught that 244 on the 18-foot Assassin. And I don't think I could have reached her with anything shorter. But I got a lot of war pigs and tsunamis that I use. But Eric and Leanne Howard, they take care of all their men and women. And anything you need, and they'll surely get it out to you. But their products are so awesome, from the reels to the rods.
And customer service is great. I think that son going, he's moving to Farmerville here very soon. He's already got a place here, and they're finishing up. I really think if you broke a rod tip or somebody had an issue, he wouldn't have to know them. He would drive either that blue Corvette or blue F3 or F450 from Florida all over here just to bring you another rod. Like, that's how good customer service is on that.
Absolutely. Baits that I use, Crappie Monster, man, Jeremy Mattingly. And not just the baits. I catch a lot of fish on their baits, but those nets, like that net you got right there.
Let me pick a thing here. You want to feel it?
Let me tell you one.
touch it here.
Yeah, look, I've touched it, but let me tell you something. When you hook a crappie like I did Saturday with an 18-foot rod, you better have a net long enough to reach out and net that fish. And that outlaw net that I use, it's top. I mean, I couldn't have done it without it.
Yeah.
So another great product. Fishing line, I use K9 Fishing Products. Man, I use 14-pound fluoro on all my long rods. I use 6-pound on my casting rods. My 16-inch screen, you fell in love with it, a year ago, that MBT. So, yeah, you'll get there. You're fixing to have a 16. I see it coming. But, who else I got? Cooters, man, I can't forget Cooters, live bait and tackle in Farmerville. Kenny Cobb, he steps up to the plate anytime the town of Farmerville needs something. Anytime me and Steve need something, Kenny will be the first one to answer the call. Yeah. And it's just a great store. They got all your any product that I mentioned that I use, Kenny carries it. Yeah. So you can pick all those things up at Cooters Live Bait and Tackle. Of course, I said MBT. I've got, who else? I can't forget Travel Junkie, which is my wife. Yeah.
What is Miss Christie? What is she doing?
Miss Christie, she is a travel guru. If you want to travel anywhere in the country, anywhere outside the country, she can do it. Yeah. She backs my fishing excursions. She is my financial advisor, which
not after weekends like you just had.
She's okay right now. I told her yesterday, hey, I'm gonna go fishing for a while. Oh yeah, have fun, baby. What you need, So Yeah, but she's really good. She is a really good planner and consultant when it comes to traveling, and her business is growing very well.
Yeah, she's doing really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
And she is really good at what she does. So if you have any travel needs, cruises, excursions, any kind of all-inclusive resorts, anything, she can take care of that. Who am I missing, Steve?
I mean, you listed off 50 sponsors. That might be.
Who am I missing? Anybody?
HH,
Crappie Monster K9. Yeah, man. And the good Lord Jesus Christ, he's my biggest sponsor, of course. Yeah. Got to give him a shout out because I prayed a lot on Friday and Saturday with those storms coming through.
Yeah, no joke.
Yeah, I did. I was ramping that boat in them waves. I said, Lord Jesus, let me make it through this one.
Yeah.
Lightning striking. But anyway, so that's who I got backing me up. Love every one of them.
People wanting a electronics class, live scope class, or even just go on a guided trip.
Yep. We can go catching. We can go fishing. I can give you a class on Lake D'Arbonne. I will go to other surrounding lakes, but I just prefer Lake D'Arbonne. I live on Lake D'Arbonne. But you can reach me, William Whetstone, at 318-355-0063, or you can look me up on Facebook. It's William Whetstone. That's Whetstone. And just shoot me a message through there if you want to, and we'll set something up.
He's not going to respond if you shoot him a message. I'm telling you. You look at the inquiries, you look at the traffic. He will respond. I'm joking, but I told you the other day, I was like, dude, you post something like people. I don't know why people find you funny, but they do.
Oh, yeah.
But let me tell you, he'll post something on Facebook, and it'll be the most outlandish thing, and it'll have 400 likes, just random people sharing it. It'll go viral. Every post he does is like that. I'm like, dude, get after it, son.
Yeah, a video I posted not long ago of I went to my freezer looking for crappie in my freezer.
Oh, yeah.
There was none.
Yeah.
So I went and opened up an ice chest by my boat. There was no fish in there, and I went and cut my live scope on, hit a spot on the map with the live scope, and then opened the ice chest back up full of fish. I got a lot of hate for that. I was just so stupid. Why'd you do it? You know what my response was? Thank you for watching my video. Thank you for your support. So it was just crazy, but you got to play the market.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know about that all too well.
Oh, yeah. You can't read the comments, even like the stuff on this podcast. Actually, most of the time we get pretty good feedback on this, but reaching the numbers that we're reaching right now, and there's podcasts way bigger, but you're talking about, you got 3,000 or 4,000 downloads. You're going to have a little bit of hate on some stuff, especially like the Black Bear podcast that we did.
Oh,
that first Louisiana. We got not bad, but we got a little bit of hate from that, but you're going to have it. Just roll with it.
That's part of it.
Yeah, it'd be like my transducer coming in and out of the water and then waves of the day. Just ride it, baby.
Just ride it.
Yeah, Steve, tell us what sponsors you got. I mean, you got a lot of the same, but
yeah, mostly the same. Lugwood, Cooters, HH rods and reels. I have some product people. Mainly, my sponsors are product and making sure I stay on the water and stuff. I have Crappie Monster.
Monster Marine, like the bandits. Monster
Marine. I've been supporting them mainly because they are a great supporter of Crazy Crappie Cash, and there's some people that didn't get a lot of recognition. K9 Line, he sponsored with a lot of product. One of my favorites is Fish Obsessed. Dave, he come through with 4 of the best mounts that I think's in the industry. William uses them, I use them, and if we need something, we called him up one day. We put some Loctite on a screw. Yeah, he smoked us a little bit, but the next day the mount was sitting there, the replacement for it. But he's a great guy, a great product, and we had a lot of local support for the tournament.
Yeah,
I'm talking about like local businesses, BG Car Wash uptown, BG Painting. They were great. State Farm, the Marion State Bank, Origin State Bank. A lot of people like that didn't get the recognition because they're not in the fishing industry.
Yeah,
like K9 or Monster or Amped. And Amp does anything for. They're out of Longview, Texas, and they build organizers and stuff for the boats. They built me trays. I got a tray in my box where I keep my Cokes and my Cool Air, and I keep my sandwiches in there. They built me a tray. Oh, it's all organized. My tackle boxes are just in the line in my boat. They built some crazy stuff there. I love it. And then Rougarou. I use those tungsten weights all the time. I'm a, what do you call it, ambassador. I get a discount, a good discount, and if I need something, he'll jump through a hoop to get it to me. Adam Foray, he's from Farmville, but he lives in South Louisiana now, and he takes care of and the needs and the tungsten jig heads. I got so many that help me. I have to call on sponsors, and I want to promote their stuff. But Lugwood takes care of my boat. They've kept me on the water all the time. I mean, bar none, whatever it takes. The Cooters, I stopped by there and made sure I had a brand new Cooters hat.
It's a good looking hat too.
I probably had to take it back because it's a high dollar hat here. But no, on the video you posted, you listed all the sponsors. I can't sit here and remember them all, but man, they've been supporting us year after year. We had people from out of town. I had a friend of mine that supported a lot of support out of Northwest Arkansas, but he loves to fish.
Yeah.
We have friends that's in Alexander, cooling services.
Yeah, mechanical. Is it mechanical?
Mechanical.
Cooling? Yeah.
Travis Brown, mechanical cooling services, and local people. Patrick Brandon, Patrick Plumbing. He supported every year. I mean, you can't say enough about those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, they probably won't make that much more business of it, but they support it.
Yeah.
Because they got the love for the sport and the community.
Yeah, that's big. They giving back. That's a big part of what makes all this so fun. It really is.
Yep.
So not just with your money, but just with your time. And we'll look. I'll joke and we'll cut up and I'll play with you you two all the time. But I appreciate y'all taking the time that y'all have with me as much. Talking about a year and a half. Every time and that's why I told you I was joking earlier about making so much money from him paying me to go do that event. And when he told me he wanted me to do it and he asked how much, I was like, you would never pay me a dime to go do it. I don't care whatever you need, just let me know, because every time that I call, I need one of y'all. I'm like, hey, dude, I'm having this issue with my graph, or I'm trying to do this, or I'm just trying to go fishing. I ain't got but an hour and a half, 2 hours. Where can I go catch some fish on X lake? And y'all will tell me like, well, if you're fishing this lake, go here. This lake, go here, and use this bait. And so y'all are always incredibly generous with your time and knowledge, and I appreciate it. But look.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you any more spots to go fishing. That's out,
bruh.
That's
you didn't
out.
tell me that
That's
spot.
Out.
Look,
That's
he's
out.
dreaming.
That's
He's
out.
dreaming.
That's out. No, we're extremely proud of you, man. This is to start, or you started with us, going with us last year and learning what you did. I mean, look at that. I mean, you did it, but for us to be a part of that, I mean, that is amazing. We are proud of you. I do want to give one more shout out if I could.
Give as many as you want.
So this weekend, I was using a hand tie. A lot of hand tie guys out there, but I use a lot of them from Mr. Jimmy Watt, W-A-T-T. You can find him on Facebook, Jimmy Watt. I've been using the same hair jig. I'm not going to give the color right now. So we've got a big tournament coming up. But anyway, I've been using the same jig since November, the same one.
Wow.
I bet you I've boated over 250 crappie off this one jig. And I'm talking about from half pound to almost 3 pound, 2 3/4 pound crappie.
Wow.
And so he ties an extremely great hand tie. And
where's he from?
I believe he lives over towards Bastrop.
Oh, but he's this area.
Yep. But
He's got 3 hairs left in it, Nolan.
It probably does, but let me tell you something. They didn't mind it yesterday. Oh, but he ties an absolute stunner hair jig.
It's Jimmy Watt.
Jimmy Watt, W-A-T-T. You guys look him up and you can view some of the jigs that he's making and selling. And and I've been using him for years and years. But he's another. Those guys work hard for the few dollars they make on those hair jigs.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a lot of work.
You gotta love it to be able to.
Yeah, and he does an outstanding job. So I had to give him a shout out because I've been really pounding that bait for a while now, and it was very successful this past weekend.
Oh, yeah, he's got a lot on here. Yeah, if you just
don't start looking, you're gonna spend that money. I'm trying
to see I'm going through the pictures tonight to see which ones he liked, and that way I know what color.
It's not on there. You'll never see it. Yeah,
custom. Nah. But go to Jimmy Jimmy Watt WATT. Lives in Bastrop, Louisiana.
Yep.
And click on him, and there's Quitman, Louisiana bound with a ton of jigs, and Texas bound.
Beautiful, beautiful jigs.
Yeah.
Strong hooks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
all right, guys, we're about to roll. Thank y'all so much for coming on. So, again, we had more sponsors than what you can even shake a stick at this year's Crazy Crappie Cash, but we don't have the date yet for next year. I mean, it just happened this past weekend, but it'll be, I promise with me on board, it'll be coming up soon. I'll be fired up. I got redemption to get, baby. But check out Crazy Crappie Cash, all with C's. Check it out on Facebook. And look up the town of Farmville. There's so many Airbnbs that are in Farmville, and I'm telling you, some of the best food you're going to get. I ain't just saying that. I love food. Y'all travel all over the place, and you've traveled. Yeah. Where'd you say that you used to fly in on a helicopter all the time?
Well, I worked in Brazil.
Where's that?
Huh?
Where's that one place you were talking about?
Trinidad.
No, somewhere. Anyhow, it was somewhere 3 worlds away that this cat would fly a helicopter in once a month or something like that all the time. But yeah, we've been all over the place. I'm telling you, you're not going to find as good a food as you're going to get in Farmville. It really is good. Some really nice places. Not any big hotels, which that's fine. Shop local, go with your little Airbnbs, but check it out. The town of Farmerville on Facebook. They're always posting good stuff on there. So thank you guys coming on. I appreciate it. We, I guess a little promotion for Spotted Dog. We have a few more, not many, but a few more of I'll move this. But those turtle boxes, that's a bottomland, but the new mossy oak. Oh, what's the color? Is it full something? What is it? Mossy oak. Full foliage. That's what it said. I knew it was full something. Very, very limited edition run. A lot of you missed out on the bottomland ones last time, but we got a couple of the full foliage left, and they actually look better. They're a smoke show. They look really good.
We wanted one with pink and Chanel, maybe a little chartreuse.
Yeah.
Is that the color of your jigs? Is that?
No, but it looks good.
I bet it would. Check out SpottedDogSportingGoods.com for all of your hunting, crappie fishing needs. Guess what we're hammering on today? But we got everything from fishing electronics and Garmin Live Scopes. We have the 12-inch units with the LVS 34 and the GLS 10. The whole combo, everything you need but a battery, which you can hook that up to your boat, or you already got a battery in your boat.
Check out Monster Marine.
Check out Monster Marine. But I think it's $32.99. Dude, that's almost a $4,700 package.
Yeah.
And we got them on sale for $32.99 right now at SpottedDogSportingGoods.com. We got the 10-inch with the same LVS 34. I mean, top tier. It's not entry-level stuff, but you're getting it cheaper than entry-level stuff. So I think it's like maybe $25.99 or $24.99. So got some excellent one of those, and then some Humminbird. We got some really nice Humminbird stuff that we got some really good rebates on right now as well. So check out your crappie fishing, bass fishing needs, and everything else on Spotted Dog Sporting Goods, and get free shipping on orders over $99. There's my spiel.
Hey, and that's not an expense. That's an investment.
Yeah.
Because you can get all that money back next year at Crazy Crappie Cash.
I'm about to start getting some sponsors. Let's call NBT when we get through here. I need to give him a call. So, all right, Big Will, appreciate you, Mr. Steve. Thank y'all for coming on. All right, guys, we'll see y'all next time. Bye.